Here we are with unpacking of the Ortur Laser Master 3 that I got. Very excited. I think this is going to add some interesting dynamics to my knife business. Got some great ideas on how it's going to enhance what I'm working on. We'll do that in a couple other videos, but you can see here that this is well packed, and this thing comes together fairly easy. What I would do is suggest that you watch the video that I have posted in the description. That is just a very well studio version of showing how some of these things come together. But this gives you a perspective of basically looking at the manual, having not seen that. I wish I had done my own advice and watched that video ahead of time. Things would go a little bit quicker, but even with that, trying to read the directions in the garage, pretty cold in there. Not the best of lights, but it's interesting on this side. The screw to hold the frame together was already in there, and I'm picking the wrong Allen wrench. You need the bigger one in this case, but it's already captive Allen screw, machine screw in there, and um, it, it's amazing how well this thing comes together. Just making sure it's square and I'm not pinching anything. This is the side that has the cables pre-installed. That's what I'm saying. A lot of this is already pre-done for you, and you'll see all the tracks that are already pre-installed. Doing the other side now. Again, very similar process. Squaring it up, getting that screw that's already in the frame mounted. There's some very little screws that that go on the underside. I flipped this upside down. In a cold garage, these little screws are actually a little hard to screw in, but nothing really challenging. They screw in fairly easy. I did see, I don't know if you'll see it on the video, but on this side, that the screw jumped out of my hand and fell on the floor, and I'll find that later, but grabbed a different screw and mounted that. Next is trying to get the rail that goes up and down. It runs on some wheels. It actually pops on there pretty easily. I was proud of myself saying, see, this goes towards this way. I'll show you a little bit later. But it is important to make sure that goes in the right orientation, because if it doesn't, which it didn't for me, I wasn't careful enough in making sure I put in the right thing, and it just caused a lot of having to undo and redo a bunch of stuff. On this side, the Allen machine screws are not embedded in there, so I'm trying to turn, but there's nothing in there. I was like, read the directions, and like, oh yeah, you got to grab this screw over here and insert that. So these next two are very similar. You just insert them, screw them in there, and then there's the two smaller screws on the bottom side that you have to put in to it just really tightens up the frame considerably. So again, I mean, this is amazing. I mean, I sped a couple of the pieces in. I did cut out when I couldn't find the Allen wrenches, and I cut out the video of me crawling on the floor looking for the screw that I dropped. But this is pretty much in real time what it's taking to get this going. So, I mean, in not a lot of time, the entire frame is now put together. All right, so it's together. Now this is where you put these rubber belts, and what you do here is basically loosen this belt all the way as much as you can, and then you put it on the already assembled middle bar there on that wheel. It does help if you've got very little fingers in order to get that stuffed in there, but basically you loosen it enough, you put that on the pulley on the other side. You tighten it back up. Do the same with the other side, and then it goes. The teeth of um, the belt go into the assembly again. That's already done, and this is where you can see that I noticed I had flipped the bar the wrong way. So I spared you taking it all apart, putting it all together, and having the, the piece in the right direction. But it's really the bracket that holds the laser needs to point to the front of the machine where the on-off switches and the cables go in. But here, basically, there is a pre-assembled and pre-attached cable. There was a pre-attached cable that I tied wrapped to the side rail. I connected the other cable to that, tie wrapped it to the that middle rail, cut off the tie wraps, and we're getting close. So now it's time to take some stuff out of the way, but I put on the actual laser. You can see it fits in this track. It's got that little thumb screw there to hold it. You do have to adjust it. I'll show that later in a different video, but you do have to adjust that. Really, really important. You get a USB connector. You got to take that SD card out of that and put it into the slot that I just showed you on the bottom. Really, really important. I don't know if it shows that a lot in the description, but yeah, now I've connected the wire to the laser head. I basically press that button to turn it on, and I was amazed, right? Turned it on first try, and the laser is homing. These do have limit switch, so it knows where home is very well. You're going to see it's going to the home position, which is that front left position. And then just really quick, I used the free GRBL, which I quickly decided that although that's free, it's really not worth it. The light burn is definitely the way to go, but I did a real quick using the free software on some plywood here, and then did a Mickey Mouse on a piece of leather here. And obviously the settings on the Mickey Mouse were a little too intense for what I was trying to do, so it burned a little bit. And I don't have the air assist working yet. I'll show you the setup that I put together with the air assist. But yeah, I mean, part of it was trying to see how deep I can cut, and how well the laser would etch. So literally in this first day of me playing around, I actually etched on wood and leather.